saw the film, I holy cow.
The biggest fear is seeing an aircraft crash. Helicopter. They typically land to about, I would say, over there, you were thinking that's great. I like that one. The guy said he's alive. He survived, bro.
I did hear somebody say, I mean the guy with the video, he said that somebody was pulled out.
No, Mike, honestly, he's doing a good job.
I think it just hit the building because you only saw like 2 stretches.
Your first and last name, sir?
My name is Kurt, C-U-R-T, Johnston, J-O-H-N-S-T-O-N.
And Kurt, can you tell me a little bit about what you saw here today and what you experienced?
Well, I was just paying a visit a week after the air show, and I noticed there was stunt helicopters flying today, so that kind of caught my surprise. And so I went down farther where they were landing the helicopters, and the particular helicopter that was landing was it looked like a jet helicopter. It looks like a shark. It did one flyby by a building up there. Everyone was standing on the balcony, and it flew by really slow, kind of like to say hi to the people. It flew all the way around, and then on the next approach, they had a camera crew there. One is a mounted camera on a truck, and another guy on a scooter, and he came in really slow, coming in sideways, and I was sitting right by the, where it crashed, right by the overpass, and there's a kid there, and a stroller, and a dog next to me, and I knew he's coming in behind me. I wasn't watching it, and I was going to turn around and look up. Right before that happened, I felt the wind shear come in, and all of a sudden all the sand and dust was blowing up, and I looked up, and right as I looked up, literally right over my head, the back of this helicopter was kind of like fishtailing around. I'm like, oh shoot, that thing's going to crash. So I got up and I started running to the parking lot, but I didn't realize if I was gonna outrun it, was that close, outrun it. So it's almost like something in a nightmare. I was thinking that thing could land. So then I heard it land, and I was waiting for the debris. I didn't feel any, but I turned around. I was in shock. The thing was sitting there, and the motor was still spinning, but the whole thing had sheared off some palm trees and stuff. There's debris in the parking lot.
And we had initial reports that there might have been a juvenile injured. Did you see anything like that?
There was an old man, about 85, Asian man, that had a cut in the back of his head, and he was trying to get a rag so he could stop the bleeding. And there was no juvenile injured, but unless it was across the street, someone immediately, the paramedics came in and stopped across the street if some of the debris came across the street. And then there was a man that looked like he had some back problems, an older man, and I think he was a passenger, and the pilot was completely unscathed, and he was there trying to get the maybe the fuel shut off because the engine was still running. So,
and we have footage of the tail rotor flying off of the aircraft. Yeah. Knowing that you were within feet of that, how does that make you feel?
I was in shock. I didn't talk to anyone for like 15 minutes. I was in shock that I almost died. I thought that thing was going to land. I didn't even have a chance to look up. I was dodging through the parking lot. But it makes me, today it's made me like question my life. Like,
First name Greg, last name Heilig. I'm a resident of Costa Mesa.
And what did you see here today?
So my wife and I, we came here with a friend. We saw all the helicopters land, and there was no helicopter, so we thought we would just go bicycle a little bit, come back, and hopefully see the cars. There's supposed to be cars here, so we were going to come back and see the cars. So we were biking north, and all of a sudden I noticed, lifeguard trucks with their lights fully on, and we saw ambulances and police cars, and I thought something very heavy just went down. And before that, I actually saw what I believe was this helicopter circling around up north. I thought, oh, it's coming in. We're gonna go up there and come back and see the cars and see everything. Then we saw the emergency vehicles. We came back, and as I was coming back, a guy was talking about some emergency, and I thought, I'm gonna ask this guy, I have to see what happened. He had a video that a friend had sent him, and it showed, because I wasn't here, but it showed the helicopter wildly rotating and falling. And when that happened, what I think happened is helicopters, they work by the top rotor rotating one way. In this case, I believe it's counterclockwise. So there's a tail boom rotor, that the little one that sticks out in the back, and that counteracts the rotational force of the rotor up above. If you don't have that rotor, the body will rotate instead. It's like the rotor rotates one way, the body will rotate the other way to counteract the force. You'll lose lift because nothing's pushing air down anymore, and it'll crash. And so when the tail rotor works, that provides a counterforce to the rotating blade that allows the body of the helicopter to stay stationary, and then the force of the air goes down, as it should be. Right. But in this case, there had to be a mechanical malfunction. I don't think this was pilot error, unless a bird hit these little rotors. They're not very big. Yeah. If you notice, they're very small, and there's really nothing protecting them, not really. At least some of them. And so if something hits, it just rotates out of control, lift is lost, and you just crash right down.
And we heard initial reports just kind of from on the scene that he might have been like flying around trying to do something cool. Did you see that?
I wasn't here for that. So the other helicopters, they did a couple of fast passes, but from what I could tell, they were doing it within the cordoned area, the safe area. So I don't know what happened. All I know is that these copters seemed good. They landed okay. There was no gusty wind. There was no birds. I didn't see anything. But, looking at the video, that thing was wildly rotating out of control. And that only happens when that tail boom rotor doesn't work anymore, when it's not providing that counterforce.
And you were here before us. Did you see anybody being transported out of the helicopter?
I wasn't here for the whole thing.
Got it.
I literally just got here. The only reason I know what I know is because I saw the video. And if you look, it landed on the walkway where it's outside the gated area where people could have been walking to the event.
Of course.
it fell right on top. 3 trees are cut off, which means the rotor got really close to that tower, and it could have hit the tower.
And your first and last name one more time?
Gregory Hiley.
Gregory. Thank you.